The spot welder requires a supply of cooling water to prevent overheating. Both valves need to be on. The second valve just needs to be cracked to allow some flow. It does not need to gush. Turn the compressed air on by positioning the valve in line with the pipe. Open the exhaust duct by sliding the blast gate. Turn the electrical power on by positioning the disconnect lever up. Turn the weld scope unit on using the switch on the side. The Spot Welding Lab introduces the fractional factorial design of experiments. We'll be examining 6 factors: material, thickness, pressure, current, preheat, and cycles. Rather than 64 individual tests, we are reducing it to 16 with the design of experiments. The 2 materials in Factor 1 are galvannealed and galvanized at 0.8 and 1.2 millimeters thickness. All supplies are stored in labeled tubs off to the side. Factor 3, pressure, is adjusted using the pressure regulator on the side. Pull the knob down to unlock and turn counterclockwise to reduce pressure and clockwise to increase pressure. When you're reducing pressure, go below your target and then increase pressure to your target. This purges the residual air. Dry cycle the welder when changing the air pressure from high to low. Place the welder in no weld and operate mode. Then press the foot pedal a few times to purge the air lines. Verify the pressure is at the set point and adjust as needed. Factors 4 and 6 look at the current and the number of cycles. Put the unit in no weld mode and also program mode. Next, use the select button to select the parameter of interest. If you slowly press the button, it scrolls upward. Quickly press the button, it scrolls down. We're going to scroll upward. Let's move down to percent current. And then use the data buttons to change the digits of interest. Let's change the first digit to 35. And hit enter. You must hit enter. Now let's change the weld and heat to 12. Must hit enter again, don't forget. The last factor is the preheat. We do this by setting the schedule to 00. This is the preheat cycle. If it shows 00, we'll run this cycle first before doing schedule 01. Select 2 coupons from the appropriate tub and label what test you plan to run on them. Make sure the unit is in no weld and program mode. Open up the guard doors and insert the 2 coupons and clamp in position. They should overlap by about an inch. Close the guard door and change the unit to weld and operate mode. Now depress the foot pedal to activate the welder. Before opening the guard doors, return to no weld and program mode. Now open up the guard doors and release the clamps. Be careful because the part can be hot. Please close the guard afterwards though. Record the values on the weld scope. Use the toggle buttons to move the cursor to pulse. In the event there's a preheat, the preheat cycle is displayed as pulse 1 and the actual weld cycle is displayed as pulse 2. If there's no preheat, the actual weld cycle is displayed as pulse 1. After welding, inspect the caps. Periodically, wipe the caps with a soft cloth or paper towel. If the caps become excessively fouled, use a fine file to redress the flat surface of the caps. Under certain welding conditions, the welding caps can get stuck to the coupons. In this case, the caps will have to be replaced by the GSI. Before working on the machine, always put the machine in no weld and program mode. For safety, shut off the air pressure. The required tools and spare welding caps are stored above the welder. From top to bottom is a bag of spare welding caps, a nut driver, a ball joint fork, and a hammer. Use the nut driver to loosen the upper hose clamp, which secures the weld scope sensing wire. Use the fork to gently pry the lower cap. Remove the wire from the lower cap. Install 2 new caps to the lower and upper arbors. Restore air pressure. Temporarily crank up the air pressure to 40 psi. Put the unit in no weld and operate mode. Use a stack of 4 coupons and dry cycle the unit twice to secure the caps. Return to program mode. For safety, shut off the air pressure. Reinstall the red weld scope sensing wire to the upper cap using the hose clamp and the nut driver to secure. Similarly, reinstall the black sensing wire to the lower cap. Return the air pressure to a normal value. Return the tools and spare caps above the welder.